This girl DM'd me on Instagram, and I think she's flirting with me, but I can't tell. You see, she DM'd me and she said, "Are you a machine learning or AI engineer?" And I said, "No, I'm more of a computer hardware engineer, but I do have experience with AI and machine learning. I'm just not, trained in it, I guess. I didn't go to school for that. I don't even know if you can go to school for that. Maybe now you can, but, in 2017, I don't know if that was an option." But I said, "No, I'm just a computer engineer, a hardware computer engineer." And she said, "Oh, okay." And she was like, "Are you in Canada by chance?" And I was like, "Oh, no, I'm in California, actually." She was like, "Oh, the US." I was like, "Mm-hmm." And she said, "Are you NorCal or SoCal?" And I was like, a little closer to north than south, I would say. And then she hearted my comment. And then she left it at that. But I was like, what's going on here? I went to her page. I looked that she was a real person, not just a bot that's trying to, dox me. And I was like, yeah, no, she's like a real person. So I was like, what was the point of this message? No way she leaves it at that. So then I respond to her. I add another message. I say, "Any reason in particular you were wondering? Or were you just curious?" And she said, "Haha, you want my honest answer?" And so I can't give a straight answer, of course. So I say, "They say honesty is the best policy." And then she says, "I found you oddly attractive. I thought you were Canadian." Which I don't know why those things were said back to back, but I respond to her and I say, "Oddly is crazy, LOL, but I appreciate it." We went on to text a little more, and she even said, "No, no, I said that because you're not my typical type, but not in a bad way." Sounds kind of rude now that I think about it. And it's funny, I don't really get compliments on my physical appearance because what would you say, right? Cast a line out, see what I pick up because I'm fishing for compliments. But no, I don't really get compliments like that. But even when I do, it can't just be a straight up compliment. It can't just be like, "I find you attractive." It's like, yeah, I don't know. I find you oddly attractive. No, no, no. Don't get me wrong. I think you're attractive. You're just not someone I would usually go for. I'm actually kind of looking inward and being like, "Uh-oh, is this a mistake? Like, is this a new taste I've acquired?" Like myself, when I was younger, did not fuck with mustard. Now I love mustard. Usually, with a hot dog, I'm kind of only doing mustard. That's right. I go on a solo date with mustard. Not a group date when I'm tackling a hot dog. So maybe this person feels the same way I feel about mustard. Maybe when they were younger, they were like, "Oh, how can people stomach this shit?" But now that they're older and they have a bit of an acquired taste, they're like, "Actually, mustard, get over here." At least that's what Kendrick said. Am I right, folks out there? Huh? Hip hop culture. We love that. My audience knows those references. But yeah, it can't just be like, "I find you attractive." It's, "I find you oddly attractive." I've also heard this about my personality. People are like, "Yeah, I don't know. Something about Garv. He's like weird. I kind of like it." I'm like, "You can just say you like me. You don't have to." You don't have to say like the weird part. You don't have to like qualify it, right? Like this is a very pretty girl. I'm sure that she's never met qualifiers when people are complimenting her, or asterisks when people are complimenting her. But with me, people are like, "Yeah, I don't know. I shouldn't feel this way." Like honestly, I'm gonna go to the doctor next week. I've been kind of off this whole week, but right now there's something about you. I don't know what it is. This might not last. I'm hoping it doesn't. But right now, I'm facing a very confusing feeling. So I don't know. Is she flirting with me? What's going on? Because we've continued to message back and forth. I'm not gonna pursue anything because I don't flirt with strangers. Well, okay. Here's the thing. I don't like seriously pursue strangers, but I flirt with everyone. Apparently, my sister told me this just a few months ago. She was like, "Oh, you're a flirt." I'm like, "Don't wait. Which F word did you use?" She said flirt. I'm like, "Oh, okay. Thank you." That one I think was okay to stay still. But she said, "No, you're a flirt. You flirt with everyone." I'm like, "It's not that I flirt with everyone. I try to engage in banter with everyone. It's just to the untrained eye, anytime you see someone having a interesting conversation and you get a twinge of, sexual tension there, people are like, 'Oh, that's flirting.' It's not flirting. It's fun. It's banter. It's not anything, right? It's the same reason I talked about a year ago when I talk to a cashier and I'm with someone and, there's a little bit of an exchange of humor, levity, jokes. I'll usually leave the cash register and my friend will be like, "Oh my God, they were into you and you were kind of into her." I'm like, "No, that's just, We're having a fun time. Now, I'll admit the obvious. Garv, they might be into you. Okay, sure. Sure. They might be. And I don't have an argument to that. You might be right. That might just be the whole truth. Occam's razor, huh? The most simplest explanation. But I don't choose to believe that. You see, I've never. I've moved through now almost 27 years of life, never thinking that other people are looking at me as a sexual being. I just am like, if someone's into me, yeah, there's probably, they're dealing with that themselves. But no one's into me. This, again, cast a line, reel it in. I'm fishing for compliments. No, but the thing is, I have not gotten the feedback. All of the things I'm saying are backed by data. I have had very few people tell me they're like into me in any way. In high school, there was like there were two girls. And they didn't even admit that they were into me. I heard from their friends that they were into me. They never approached me. So that's just hearsay. One later in life I did talk to, and she did admit, she's like, no, I did have a crush on you. I was like, oh, wow. And she's like, yeah, but got over that. I'm like, okay, well, you didn't have to, I could just taken the win. You didn't have to clarify. That's like giving me a participation trophy and then stealing it away. I didn't really earn it in the first place. But did you have to take it away? But there's been really no one saying that, oh, I'm attractive. There was a little thing in college. I don't know if you guys went to UC Davis, but there was a Instagram page called UCD Affirmations. I think it's now not disabled, but I think it's just inactive for the past few years. But when I was in college, it was active. And when I was in my last year of college and we all went back on campus, there were a couple posts about me. People being like, I met him, he's fine. That's not my words. People said that. I was called fine and attractive. But again, these are anonymous people. There's no face to them. You can be very bold behind anonymity, but no one bold-faced has been able to look at me and been like, Garv, you're attractive. Because I don't think I am. I've told friends about this. I think I am not like universally attractive, but I think I'm good enough. The thing is not to like objectify myself. I think I'm a type. I won't go so far as to say I'm a fetish because that's weird, but like I think I'm someone's type. The thing is, if you're into me, my type, I think you're going to be really into me. But if you're not into me, I truly don't think there's anything I could do to sell you on me. It's kind of like, when your friend's like, let's try this sushi place. And you're like, I don't really like sushi. It makes my stomach upset. Going to that sushi restaurant, there's nothing they can show you that will change your mind. It's all going to make you sick. I'm a sushi restaurant. To someone, to a world of sushi lovers and sushi haters, it's just, you're going to like me and you're not. There's no way you can I can give you any part of me and you're going to be like, actually, wait a minute. And so that's why it's weird to be called attractive. It's because I'm out of practice. But you can see even the times that I am called attractive, there's a qualifier. People are like, yeah, I don't know. There's something about you. There shouldn't be. Well, okay, don't say that part. But there is. I'm like, yeah, okay. So just leave the middle part out. You see how we could have done that without doing that? It's like running a mile without hurdles. Just run around the hurdles. You don't have to jump every time. You think you're doing it for me. I don't want to see you stretch that way either. This is a lose-lose. No one's winning in this situation. Thanks for explaining a lose-lose, Garv. Yeah, no problem. Are you into me now? That's pretty hot the way I mansplained that, right? I've felt terrible these past 4 days. Ever since last Wednesday. I'm recording this on Monday, right? Monday, October 20th. So what was last Wednesday? That must have been October 15th. So on October 15th, I don't know what happened. Actually, I do know what happened. I hit a wall. I faced too many days in a row of sleep deprivation. How many days did you go, Garv? Well, if I do the math right, carry the 1, 8 years. I've been depriving myself of sleep for 8 years, and I think I truly need to change. I don't think my body can keep up anymore, and I felt that last Wednesday, and I have felt just awful since then. I have not felt good for like the past 5 weeks. I didn't feel good the week before the Alaska trip I went on. And since then, I threw up on the ship. I developed a fever and all this shit. And then ever since I come back, I've just been tired and shitty and groggy. And I need to focus on my health. And I don't know why I am not. And so now I'm doing it. I don't know if it's clear in this, but like my right tonsil is so inflamed and like sore right now. It's something that happens when I get anxiety. It started in 2019 When I get very, very stressed, my throat essentially tries to choke itself. It's not my throat, it's my tonsils. And it's usually my left one. I don't know why the fuck my right one is acting up. But yeah, usually my left tonsil gets super, super sore, and I have a really hard time just like talking or swallowing. Like every time I drink or eat something, it hurts so much. And the reason for this is because work is so stressful right now. I think it's really like affecting me. Just to give you a reference, you don't need to know anything about my work, but like we have tickets. Customers that we manage, submit tickets if they have technical issues. And I would say on average, you probably have somewhere between 4 to 12 tickets at a time. That's how many tickets you're kind of managing and trying to answer. And then when you give us, satisfactory answer in the customer's eyes, you go ahead and close the ticket. These things try not to stay open for more than 30 days, right? Try to give a pretty quick answer. Well, I've always kind of operated around like the 18 to 20 case range. Like that's usually pretty standard for me because I have, I think, a few more customers. The past 3 weeks, basically, since I've gotten back from Alaska, I have had 31 to 34 cases. We are supposed to have around 10. I have had 31 to 34. That is 31 to 34 individual questions from customers with things that are like, this doesn't work. Why doesn't it work? I'm like, what are you talking about? What the fuck are we talking about? I have, in my 4 years of this job, I have never had more than, I think, 26 cases. That's my record. And that was only for a couple days, and I was able to close some of them. I have had 3 weeks straight of 31 to 34 cases. It just keeps fluctuating that number because they keep opening new cases. And so it's fucking like eating away at me. And then with the sleep deprivation I put myself through last week trying to like get stuff done, I hit a wall. And I just need to focus on my health. This is not helping, but I'm committed to this podcast, so I'm going to fucking do it. I'm not gonna do it. So yeah, maybe can we get a hype train going? I don't know. No, can we get a like on the video and a comment, perhaps? But why do I sleep deprive myself? Why do I deprive myself of sleep? There's no good reason. I remember when it started. The reason I'm able to confidently say yes, I've been depriving myself of sleep for 8 years, only 2 years away from getting my 10-year pin. It's because in high school, when I started my senior year, I remember walking out of the band room. I was in band, so band was first period. And on the second day of my senior year of high school, I was walking out of the band room, and I remember talking to Gabby Favreau. She's a year younger than me, the grade lower than me. And I remember her being like, hey, Gauruv, how's it going? I was like, pretty good. How's it going with you? And she's like, great. And she's like, how you doing? How you feeling about your senior year? I was like, I'm good. But I was like, I gotta be honest. I am very tired. I was like, I deprived myself of sleep. I didn't get much sleep last night. And she was like, why'd you do that? And I jokingly at the time said, I don't know. Maybe I just hate myself. And ever since that day, I've been depriving myself of sleep. It's never been good since then. So I'm like, what the fuck? Do I hate myself? But no, I like myself. I love myself. So what the fuck is this? But the thing is, it's a new norm, right? I've been getting by on, terrible hours of sleep. Like ever since I graduated college, I've been basically doing like 5 to 6 hours a night, which is awful. It's not good. And then even in college, there were entire years where I was sleeping like 4 hours a night and waking up and just being like a zombie. It was the dumbest shit ever. I didn't need to do it. I was just not very efficient with my time. And so now it's caught up to me because I've been kind of living in life hack mode. I'm like, well, look at that. Look how much day I have. But it's not a good quality of life. It sucks. When I'm awake, I'm tired. When I'm awake, I'm always debating in my head, you should take a nap. I'm like sweet talking myself throughout the entire day. I'm like, a nap would be so good, right? Next time you lie on a couch, maybe just lie a little vertical. You'd like that, wouldn't you? I'm like, no, I would like that. Yeah, that does seem nice. And I mean, what is 15 minutes? Right. It'll only be 15 minutes. You're not going to do more than that. You're not going to set an alarm for 15 minutes, wake up and be like, well, what's another 15 minutes? You wouldn't do that, would you? No, I wouldn't, because I'm responsible. I mean, look how far I made it in life. That responsibility takes you this far, huh? Yeah, I'll do it. So yeah, I've been seduced by my inner monologue, my sleepy little inner monologue, right? I got Snow White's 7 dwarves in my head, except it's just fucking drowsy or sleepy, whatever his name is, just sweet talking me. I got sleepy seducing me in my fucking cranium. What am I supposed to do with that? And so it's time I break up with Sleepy. Get the fuck out of my head, gnome. And people are like, oh, is that why your head's so big? You've been putting a gnome in there this whole time? No, that's not, it's not related. Have people been saying that, by the way? People, some people are oddly into that, They don't think they'd be into it. And then, they see my head and they're like, actually, it's not that weird of a shape. And he has that European nose thing going, right? Where it kind of goes downward. Like they would make statues out of marble of someone that looked like him. But then, nope. I'm not going to finish that joke because that's not appropriate. Look at that. Self-control, huh? And it sucks. It sucks. Gabby Favreau and I don't even follow each other on Instagram anymore. Gabby Favreau in high school, she was a section leader, just like I in band. I don't know who swindled me into that one. No, I became section leader of the low brass section in marching band because the other person that was going for it would have made band a military operation, and I was not about to have that. So I was like, all right, be the change you want to see in the world. I became section leader so that, this insane person, I'm not going to name her name, but she was going to make us practice like every day after school and then like check in with us. And I was like, I'm not going to let that happen. So I was like, I'll do it. Everyone likes me. They're going to let me do it. And they did let me do it. I got picked to be a section leader. I remember we'd have to go to sometimes, maybe once a week, go to these section leader only meetings. And I remember always being happy when I saw Gabby there because she was like one of the normal people. So that when like weird shit was happening, it was always fun to look at Gabby and like read her face and be like, oh, I'm not alone. These people are insane. So it sucks, She unfollowed me, and I'm not a fan of anyone, so I'm not gonna follow her back. I unfollowed her. I don't want to follow anyone. I I don't care to see anyone's stuff on Instagram. Well, that's a lie. There may be 10 to 20 people I actively like to see posts from, but they don't post all that much. So it's like going on Instagram is just like a reminder of, oh, who has a kid now? I've told you this, right? I have a rule. If someone posts a picture of their kid, they're instantly muted. Even my best friend of 18 years, Andrew, his brother Alex had a kid in this past year. He posted one picture of his kid, muted him. Muted his story, muted his posts, muted his notes on shit. And then what's the last one? Muted his whatever. There's like 4 mute. I took them off all of it. I was like, I don't want to see any of that. So yeah. I don't know why this keeps happening. I don't know if everyone's like playing a big joke on me or like maybe I'm not in on it. My team at work has a fantasy football team. We've had one for the past 3 years, if you include this year. And they act like I actively participate in it. The thing is, I would put a little bit of effort in, but I don't have access to my account. You see, we do the fantasy football process through Yahoo Sports, and I don't want to put all my personal information in there, so I just, for the past 3 years, have been using my work email. Well, some security setting changed this year at my company, and now Yahoo Sports is blocked. You can't use your work email to get into Yahoo Sports, so I can't even play. And when they were doing the draft, I remember it was the first day we went back on site for work. They reserved a conference room. Oh my God, Jesus Christ. That scared the fuck out of me. They're doing fireworks outside because it's Diwali. I'm not gonna say that word again. I fucked up saying I don't say like Indian words very well. And so I try not to say them on the internet where they can live in perpetuity. But yeah, the blinds next to me just started shaking really hard. And I was like, there were flashing lights. I was like, what could that be? What is a possible combination that would result in that? And it's fireworks. They're doing fireworks outside. But what the fuck was I doing? Oh yeah, at work. So I don't have access to my fantasy football team. And the day they did the draft, I was like, oh shit, is this kind of like serendipity? Maybe I don't have to do it. I remember I was like in the room, they reserved a conference room that first day back on site at work so that we could all be in there and do it together. And I remember one guy was like, oh shoot, I didn't sign up on time. I guess I'm out. And I was like, this is my way out. I can follow him. And I signed in. I was like, oh no, it looks like I don't have access. And I asked the guy leading the draft, I was like, yeah, I don't have access to Yahoo Sports. Looks like I can't do it, right? He was like, oh, yeah, I guess you can't. And then I put my stuff in my bag. I got up. He was like, where are you going? I was like, oh, well, I can't do it, right? Like, I don't have access to my account. They were like, no, but it's auto drafting for you. So you'll still have a team. Did anyone ask Gauruv if he wants a team? I just. And so since then, the past month or whatever, how long? It was September 3rd, I think. So it's been a month and a half. Multiple times, people at my work have been asking me, oh, yeah, hey, you going to change your team up at all? And I tell them, I'm like, I don't have access to my account. Just today, someone asked me, they were like, oh my God, did you beat this other person in our league? And I was like, I don't know. I don't have access to my account. They're like, no, you did. Yeah. Oh my God, but you have 2 people on a bye week. There's still time to change them. I'm like, yeah, but I can't get in my account. They're like, oh no, but if you did change them, like it wouldn't even matter because all their players already played. So you already beat them. Oh my God, you beat them. I was like, I'm not playing. I'm not in the, like, you're playing against a bot. You're playing against a computer, which is arguably better than if I was actively playing. But I don't know what the fuck is going on. What state of delusion do these people live in where they think I've told them explicitly I can't play. I even had someone in the league text me. They don't even work at the company anymore, so they don't see me face to face. But I've had them text me multiple times. One time, like on a Saturday morning, he was like, yo, you gonna change out your quarterback? The one you picked like isn't playing or something this week. I was like, I'm not. I have texts, I have receipts. I've texted this person twice now saying I don't have access to my account. And he keeps messaging me as if I fucking play that. I can't. What are we doing? So I don't know if this is some big joke where they're all conspiring against me to make me go fucking crazy. But what the fuck is going on? But that's just a testament to these bullshit ass things being an adult. No one cares about your response. It doesn't matter. You are just a fucking post for these people to talk to, and it doesn't matter what your response is. They'll always say the same things. Oh, yeah, hey, you cashed the game? Yeah, oh, it was a real tough one. Oh, no, what, the fucking Broncos let 33 points in the fourth quarter? Oh, I know, how did the Giants let that happen? Oh, Jackson Dart, or whatever the fuck his name is. They just want to live their little ESPN Sports Center moment, and they just want you to be their one-man audience. Because that's more than they get at home, because none of their family gives a fuck about football. But little do they know, I give somehow even less of a fuck. Because I don't even have it on at home. Them, right, their family, they have to walk by the living room when they have, their husband and father got on the TV. I don't even have that shit on. The little thing I just told you, the little blurb about the Broncos and Giants, I don't even know if those are the right teams. I got that shit because I follow, House of Highlights on Instagram because I like their basketball highlights. I don't give a fuck. But just by proxy, I know enough of that. I'm not in the league, man. Anywho. If you follow me on Instagram and you watch my Instagram story, you might have seen that, I made a shirt over the weekend because I went to a witchcrafting night. My friend puts on witchcrafting nights every October, and I was blessed and honored enough to get another invite this year. 2 years in a row now for me. Let's see if we can make it a third, folks. But this year, we made these shirts. I'm actually wearing the shirt. I'm not going to get up and do a squat I know my feeble body can't handle, so I'm just going to put a picture right here. This is the shirt. The way you make it is you cut out a trace, and then you put it on the shirt, tape it down, right? Make sure it's all sturdy. Getting sturdy. Okay. Oof. Boy. Oh, boy. And then you take a solution of half water, half bleach, and you spray it on the shirt. Did about three spurts, I would say. And you do it to where it's a good amount, right? And then you gotta neutralize it. You put it in 10 parts water, 1 part hydrogen peroxide. Is that what it is? That neutralizes the bleach, and then you just wash it, and then boom, you get a shirt. Look at that. So he made this. It's really cool, right? And I have to admit something. I would have never admitted this at the witchcraft night, the Halloween party itself, because I didn't want anyone to burn me at the stake. But on the way to that party, I was listening to Christmas pop music. And I think that's fine. I don't think that's an issue. The thing is, I don't know why this is. Every October, I get an itch. Ooh, I get an itch. to listen to Christmas music, and then I do, and then I basically don't listen to it in November or December, but I really get it in. I get my reps in October. I'm like someone that pre-games a party and then doesn't go to the party. I'm just like, yeah, no, I'll do the prep work, but I'm gonna turn it in early. They're like, what? That's not even the fun part. I'm like, no, it's I don't know. You know, some people they're like Fridays feel better than the weekend. For some reason, I'm the guy that's like, no, Thursday feels better than Friday and the weekend, which makes no sense. But yeah, that's the way I operate, I guess. It felt very scandalous too to go to a Halloween party listening to Christmas music. It felt like listening to Kanye West on the way to like a pride parade. Or listening to, I don't know, Chapel Roan before you like tour the White House or something. I don't know. Listening to R. Kelly before you volunteered in an animal shelter. You know, stuff like that. You feel like a traitor. You're like, I don't think morally these things are aligned, but I did that. And I'm not going to apologize. That's right. This year, my New Year's resolution, October 20th, yeah, my New Year's resolution is to not bend for anyone. Be very firm in my morals. And my morals consist of listening to Christmas music in mid to late October. And then being very proud about it for some reason. Like it's some kind of accomplishment. But you know what's an accomplishment? This fucking video. Because Jesus, man, I feel like shit. I think I have like a good amount of energy, but like my throat is the worst. I hate it. So thank you for listening to this episode. I'm gonna cut it a little short. I don't know. I need to drink water and like fucking edit this and eat dinner and make sure I go to bed at a normal time. I'm on a 4-day streak of getting 8 hours of sleep a day. So I think my energy is back, but like the sickness that I feel from like the anxiety I have and the stress I have, I still need to address that. So there's still work I have to do tonight. So make sure you leave a like on this episode. Thank you so much for your support. I really do appreciate all seemingly like 25 to 30 of you that listen every week. Thanks so much. Didn't forget, don't worry, got some song recs. We got Over by Cairo, great song. And then Santa Doesn't Know You Like I Do by Sabrina Carpenter. So that's just 2 songs that I'm listening to right now, and I recommend them. This is being filmed on December 7th, 2025, by the way. So this is a normal thing that I just said. And everything I've said for the past, I don't know, 27 minutes is completely normal too. So thanks for listening to this totally normal podcast. And thanks for being so normal in the way that you would leave a like on the episode after you listen to it because you liked it. So then you should like it, right? Anywho, yeah, make sure you do that. I appreciate it. Thanks. Also, it's Diwali. So, like, I'm Indian, so you have to give me something for my holiday. So give me a like. Unless you're, yeah, no, I'm not even going to say it. You know what you are. Leave that like. And thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. I will talk to you next week. Okay?